Welcome back to the Gold League Gold Tanks here at WGLNA. I'm Clutch, joined by Rookkill. Our next matchup is matchup number 3 for the night. GooglyBobbers as in fishing, which I need to do some fishing here pretty soon. My buddy Mickey and I, and probably a couple other people, are going to go out do some fishing. I haven't fished in years, man. Versus Pubstars. Pubstars is a team that made it to the top 8, joined us in the finals. The GooglyBobbers joined us via qualifier number 1.
Yeah, and they did a fantastic job there, but they're having a hard time this season so far.
Well, they have a win against the Cazadores and a loss against #RU.
Yeah, but the loss against #RU didn't look so good.
No,
#RU looked really dominant in that series. Yeah.
3-0. It was fast. Pubstars has a loss against Game Over.
Game Over, though, looked really good yesterday.
They did look really
it's
good.
just today they didn't really square up against Simp. Although I don't know about the consistency. I mean, of course the contrast changes it all. But the thing is, Pubstars, I don't know. Maybe they just had a bad day yesterday.
Possibly. Let's go ahead and jump into our face-off match number 3, GooglyBobbers versus Pubstars. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Hey, how's it going?
Yankee with the hat. By the way, I saw a couple hats like that in South Korea. I almost thought about getting one.
You should have.
I should have. Next time I go, I will. And good to see you guys. GooglyBobbers, hey, you're getting acclimated. It's day number 4, week number 1. What do you think about the Gold League so far?
I think it's a great opportunity, and I'm really glad that we're allowed to be a part of it.
Oh, good. We're glad to have you here. And Pubstars, you guys, you had a tough loss against Game Over.
We did.
They brought it on Ensk, and we saw them just fall against Simp. Were you a little bit happy they fell against Simp on Ensk on that map, or were you guys more focused on getting this series over with?
Wins. No, it's just something we've got to work out ourselves. We'll get things straightened out tonight.
What was happening yesterday? Because it seemed like they were doing a really strong job against you guys, and then today we didn't see Game Over playing quite as strong. What was happening there yesterday?
It's difficult to say. I think we lost a lot of one-on-one matchups that we probably could have swung it either way, but. We may have tried to get on the cap a little early a couple times before we had the situation under control, so we'll just see. Maybe Simp's that good, and we'll just have to get a little bit better.
All right. GooglyBobbers, you guys have 1 win under your belt and also a loss. Devastating loss against #RU. Were you surprised by that since they're another new team here for the league?
Not necessarily surprised. Perhaps we were a little bit unready for that matchup, but they could have gone either way. Perhaps a little more situational awareness, and we could have had them, but they beat us out on that one.
Spoon, do you have any words for your opponent, Yankee and Pubstars, before we get this started?
Can I join G?
We get that a lot.
No, good luck. Have fun.
Yeah, you too.
You get that a lot, Yankee? Yeah, we got a lot of these young kids asking you to join G.
Oh, everybody. Not everybody, but yeah, we get a lot of people want to get into G.
I don't have the best
for the clan
stats.
war success.
I've only got a tier 8. But can I join your
prefer
clan?
a mature adult.
Oh, sorry.
How large of a gift package can you send?
Those of you unfamiliar, G is a clan organization for World of Tanks. Do you have any words for Spoon, GooglyBobbers before we get this started, Yankee?
We'll just kind of have to see how it goes tonight. You know, we've had a lot of fun playing with you guys in other situations, so it'll be interesting to be playing against you. Good luck, and let's get this thing started.
Pubstars, you have the higher seed. Heads or tails in the coin flip?
Heads, please.
Heads will be the call. And it is tails. GooglyBobbers, you have choice of map or defer.
We'll defer.
Defer. Pubstars, what will be your map choice?
Steps.
Steps will be the first map choice. GooglyBobbers, where will be your spawn position?
We'll take south side.
South side for steps for GooglyBobbers. Pubstars will take the north. Yankee, always great to see you and that hat. Spoon, you're getting better, kid. I mean,
Try to
mature
change my
adult.
luck here.
All right, good. Guys, good luck.
Thanks.
It's funny, man. I mean, Spoon looks like a young adult to me. I don't even know how
He's
old
a
he
young
is.
guy, man. He's
How
really
old
young.
is he?
No, he's younger than me, so that makes him pretty young.
Whoa! Wow.
Uh,
Man, I was out saving the galaxy, and you were in diapers.
exactly.
All right, guys. First map choice is going to be steps. I find this intriguing coming
Yeah,
out of Pubstars here.
Breaking the mold.
I always bring this up when it comes to steps because this is the how the mine works for myself. If I'm up 2-0 at the clutch mine, let's take
Aliens.
take a step into the dark corners of the clutch mine. If I'm up 2-0 and we go into a draw scenario on another map, and I know we can win out this series, I'm going to go to steps for another draw scenario because I feel I can hang back on the western side against those rocks, not the eastern side anymore because of the valley. But to me, still, I feel there's more of a controlled draw scenario that would garnish me the win. overall.
I disagree because I feel
I know you
comfortable
do.
on steps.
That's why we talk about this.
Yeah. Well, I disagree because I feel comfortable on open maps. That's just me. If I were on any team, I feel like I could at least contribute to the win. If my opponent's attempting to draw, they could try as hard as they can. But the more you try to draw, the easier it's going to be for me to take you apart and win.
Well, then I could take my T1 and run away and have my other tanks just keep tracking
If
you
you're
all
going
the
to
time.
keep playing for that draw, you're not going to be able to get those T1s
No,
away.
if you keep playing for the draw, you're not going to be able to take home the $50,000 first place prize.
Exactly.
Because Fulcrum doesn't play for the draw. Fulcrum plays for blood.
And they lost a lot of battles in the final series of Season 2 because they were unwilling to allow a draw. They're like, you know what? We're going to push. And they just did it.
Yeah.
And they dropped a few battles to Simp that they probably could have made happen if they'd played slower. Like if they'd actually just slow played it out, they probably could have made it work because of the way Simp was playing, much more passive at times. And there were times when, especially, you remember Ensk, when they just went straight up the middle? They just went up the middle, right there. One of the pushes that you'd say, no, never do that. They did it. And it was crazy because they did have a strat, they did have a plan, but a few little mistakes changed it from a really cool push into walking to a crossfire.
Devastating defeat.
Yeah, it was rough, but they did come out ahead, of course, and they looked strong to it. Every time they won, it was really good looking for them.
We haven't seen any Abbey yet tonight.
You're right.
Which is nice because it's
Oh.
it's an effective map. It's a good map for strategy. It's my least favorite map
Really?
because
Eh.
it nullifies any crossplay except for
No
the
way.
water side.
So much crossplay. So much. You can cross from the west
this is
into
crossplay.
the middle. You can cross from the Abbey into
Oh,
the east.
Wait, let me get to the end of the road. Okay, I'm going to come back down to the west, see what I can find.
Clutch. There's so much cool stuff you can learn just by knowing the geography of Abbey. There's so much you can do, so much
Man,
scouting you
I
can
have
do.
found so many stairs that go nowhere in that map.
Well, I mean, the architect wasn't the greatest guy in the world, but he did make it so there's some doorways which accommodate tanks. And also
that's
there's a
great.
staircase you can throw yourself up in the Abbey, get yourself on the east side of that Abbey. You saw
My ju-
Cazadores do it.
My judgment
Yeah.
of the map is not on the map design itself. My judgment of the map is the execution of teams and how they use the map. Fulcrum Gaming, we're in agreement with its teams going to know how to play the map better, and I feel that is the biggest bar for them to reach. The toughest experience level for them to reach is when they get on the same level of Fulcrum Gaming, even Simp, on how to use that map correctly.
Yeah,
I've seen that a lot of times, though, in these
Yeah,
engagements.
the ceiling is absurdly high for Abbey because of how dynamic it is. A lot of other maps don't have the same flexibility you get in Abbey. Now, you have a lot of one-way trails, like from the west side and the middle, about the EF line area. You have the water crossing. We saw that the other day. You can
And then
cross.
you have the Cazadori outposts.
Exactly. That whole area, it's really cool, and you can do a lot of fun stuff there. It's just a lot of teams don't take advantage of it, and just because of how dynamic the terrain is, it really favors American tanks, but you can make French tanks even play well on it, and it's just really cool because there's a lot of potential theoretical crossfires and different ways you can play it out that are just really intriguing that we don't get to see all the time.
Well, it's
Sometimes
better.
you see them.
It's better than Lakeville.
Lakeville, yeah, I don't like Lakeville so much.
Ah.
I like the first 2 minutes of Lakeville, and then after that, I'm not a fan.
They had Lakeville as part of the map pool for WCG.
Yeah.
And some people enjoyed it, those
Yeah.
people being the European teams, and some other people are like,
They have a lot more experience because they
Tough.
had to play it for a while.
exactly. Let's go ahead and jump into the first battle of match number 3. This is GooglyBobbers versus Pubstars.
And as we take a look at the tanks, there's a T-32 clutch, first one of the evening.
Nice.
And a Pershing T-69, two 1390s for the side of the GooglyBobbers for Pubstars. Captain No Pants and Independent in Pershings and 3 1390s.
Germ in that 1390 with Red Paradise and March 166. March 166 was a really good performer for Pubstars in one of the matches against Game Over. Now it was also due to Independent firing at the same time with March 166. A good play. Actually, one of my personal top 5 so far. We're going to put a list together, guys. If you think there's a top play you would like to see in our top 5 of the week, make sure to send us a tweet at WGLNA.
Or at Clutch
Or
08
at
or at
Clutch 08
Rookhill
or
with 2
Rookhill.
Hughes. Yeah, we'd be glad to hear what you guys think is the best plays of the season
Be
so far.
compiling that after tonight. Also send us your images for best World War II tank, hashtag WW2. We stay on
Real
here
quick
for a bit
Clutch
in
though.
1390.
We got
What are we seeing for scouting?
Spoon has spotted Red Paradise and Captain No Pants. His return run is really risky though. He's exposed. Shots go over Red Paradise, missing the first shot, and he will not be able to get a second shot. Ooh, Spoon barely escaping without taking damage. And shots going into dirt from Zombie Food and Sovereign. Zool, along with the Bananas to the Wall host, not able to make any connections on either side. A whole lot of Stormtrooper style here.
A lot of shots ringing right over Red Paradise in that 1390. And this spread coming out of Pub Stars is more inclined to get some cross shots than anyone peeking out over the east side, but allows for some scouting happening all the way on the Echo line with Miserable in the T1. Going to be scouting next to these rocks and these bushes. He will be looking straight down south, not seeing anything yet in his vision. However, he could if that southern tank that's over in the Hotel 1 quadrant. Which
That's
tank is
Armor
that?
Ghost in the T1. He's hiding way far back. Interesting position. We don't ever see anyone there. He's going to be spotting for positions. I wanted to ping on the map, but I don't think I should. In about Hotel 2 to his direct east, you can... He's got a perfect vision right there, and he's not going to be able to get spotted, I don't think. Actually, I think he might. Maybe. But to the south, he's also got a little vision, but there's so many trees, it might actually affect his vision that way. But he'll be a great little tripwire, and he's in a very unexpected position that almost no one goes to. I mean, who goes to this back corner? We almost never see that.
Not many, but that's where I would go to if I want to go for a draw.
That
Oh,
fair. Oh, Clutch.
See?
Yes, you got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
but-
fair point. This is what you could do if you want to go for a draw.
It's a possibility, but this is not the time to play the map for map number 1. Well, it's going to be a reset of positioning here coming out of the Pub Stars. They're going to be having more of a western position on steps. Pershing in T1, Yankee in that T1, going to be meeting Miserable in his T1, along with who's that joining him? That's going to be Captain No Pants in the Pershing.
Yep. And at the same time, now Spoon gets a spot on Red Paradise as he is in full retreat. Red Paradise is spotted. There's a medium tank that, yes, there he is, Independent. Finally a spot on the return run. Spoon, though, takes a hit down to 836.
March 166 is in a really good position, jumping
Now,
over to his
who's that in the
viewpoint.
back over an A1, A2?
That's March 166, jumping over to him.
Yeah.
1390, some shots close, but no cigar against him. So he falls back a little bit. He's going to join his friends on the other side here as soon as he can.
And now there's actually a cross. Bananas the Wall host along with Sovereign Zool have crossed over the dune and are now in the west getting into Echo 5. Independent is spotted. Takes a hit from Sovereign Zool on the move, I think, in his T-32.
Independent, 2 shots. Another one. That's a bounce against Independent.
Ooh, well, Armor Ghost is going to go down. You were talking about that that passive play, Clutch? Yeah. About drawing it out. Looks like that's been shut down.
Yeah, and battle number 4, not battle number 1.
Well, battle number 1,
No,
the
it's totally-
potential for a draw has been shut down.
It
Clutch.
hasn't shut down.
I mean, that was a huge potential
I like
draw.
this. The victory parade for Rookhill is happening on the other side of the desk. That's fine.
Well, I
That's
mean,
fine.
earlier you had your little moment when it looked like a great spot to draw out the map, but turns out maybe it wasn't.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's okay to be wrong.
I have to fly.
Some of the time. When you're right, most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
so life works out.
It's okay. Sovereign Zool's taking hits mid-map. He gets tracked. Now is going to climb to the top of the hill. Going to take more hits down to 1091. Shots coming from a few different places. I bet we're going to see Marsh 166 get more side shots as Spoon's actually in close distance in his 1390 on the positions of Red Paradise. Ooh, Independent and Captain No Pants taking a hit down to 617.
Independent. Fires another shot against Spoon. Not a hit. Zombieland, the Pershing, does fire across into Captain No Pants, but here comes the engage with the T-69. He's going to fire into the Pershing. Pershing backing up. Independent gets around the corner, which allows his teammate to fire another shot. Bananas to the Wall host misses one of the hits against Independent. Bananas down to 416, now 175, but Spoon misses a shot against Independent. Independent's going to be pinned. Is going to go for the kill. He's going to push up. If it's the last thing he does
But
after
Spoon
before
is
he
coming
dies.
in, and Bananas the Wall host is barely going to get away and stay alive. Tuxzilla going to block for his battle buddy, says, "Look at me," instead of Bananas. And now here comes Sovereign, Zool, and Zombie. They're able to get him and finish him off. Look at this fight.
Nice fight coming out from GooglyBobbers, but can they hold out against the constant fire Pershing, consistent fire Pershing versus the T-69s and the 1390s. March 166 in his 1390. He's not going to focus on the T-32. He's going to focus on Bananas to the Wall host and the T-69. He's going to fire one shot, and he gets him. March 166 gets the kill. Tuxilla, however, is able to take down Red Paradise. Captain No Pants in the Pershing, focusing on Tuxilla. March 166 pushing in, doesn't go for the ram damage, focuses on the other lower tank, the Pershing. Captain No Pants gets the kill. Missed shot from 166 though with Tuxilla on the move. Another shot from March 166. Captain No Pants focuses on Spoon, but here comes Sovereign Zul in the T-32. That consistent fire of the T-32 and the higher armor rate was very significant against that Pershing, and now it's going to be March 166
But
on
now
the
there are
run.
20 seconds left on the clock for Cap, and will Tuxilla get back in time? He's in. He's going as fast as he can, but it's going to be pretty close. If he doesn't make this shot, if he's not loaded right now, we're going to see a victory for Pubstars.
They can do it. 5 seconds left. It may have to be a blind fire or a fire
actually,
on the
there's
move.
Germ on Cap. And
Yeah,
he could
he's
actually,
there with Yankee. He's
he could
blocking
shut
him.
down Tuxilla, and he may.
And there's a flag cap. Pubstars is able to take battle number 1 on steps. They may have lost the brawl up on the northwestern side, but it's because they had one of their 1390s not in the mix, guarding that T1, and they were able to get it.
Wow, Cap Pressure really winning. They started the fight elsewhere on the map. They really dragged it out, made it last as long as they could, so the Cap would win. Just well played by Pubstars.
Well
Interesting.
played by March 166 as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats. 11 direct hits, 7 penetrations though out of 13 shots. He was on his 3rd drum. And jumping up here, we have Captain No Pants, 6 for 11. Wow.
But every shot that he hit, it did pen.
It did pen, and also those shots were suppressing shots, I want to say. They were keeping the enemy back behind cover.
Yeah. You got to put out some fire sometimes. You won't hit every time. I mean, especially from some of the ranges we're seeing engagements from the other side. I mean, we're seeing a T-32 do some pretty solid work. He took 1920. That's Sovereign Zul taking 1920 potential damage. And he did 5 for 5. It's pretty solid. Good shots. And that's out of 8. But again, the engagement range, not really optimal to make 100% of your shots. This isn't Himmelsdorf. This is an open map. You're going to see a lot of misses. It just happens.
Can anybody send you some Get Well Soon cards or something?
I'm sorry. Does it really sound that bad?
No,
It sounds like
it's okay.
it's-
I get worried for you because I'll jump in when you need to clear your throat. So
Yeah.
Rookill's feeling a little bit under the weather, guys, but we're battle buddies. We're going to stick through the broadcast, and we're going to continue with the next battle on Prohorova as soon as we start the timer. These teams will have 90 seconds to choose their tanks. Once the 90 seconds is up, that's it. We go. If you're not ready, you're not going to play on the battle. You're going to be sitting on the sidelines. Prohorova will be the map choice, and it looks like to the north will be spawning Pubstars. To the south will be GooglyBobbers. What does GooglyBobbers do differently on this map compared to Steps in order to get a win? Because to me, they had the brawl
they played it right.
pretty
They
set.
just
Came to flag count. I think it's a T1 placement.
Yeah, T1 play definitely is very important. They lost a crucial T1 that could have been returning to Cap when we saw the Cap pressure. Another one of them was left alone, and a situation he couldn't win because he's up against 1390. Can't win at his T1 against a healthy 1390. It's just not going to happen. So it's just, I think it was Pubstars making the right choices when they saw that the fight was going to happen on the other side of the map. Start that Cap pressure. It works. It works some of the time. It almost didn't work.
Making a note that it was German Yankee that were able to hang back for the flag cap here.
It's a hard call, though, too, because then you're doing like a 4v5 in your brawl, and it could have even gone in favor of Pubstars. They were doing a pretty solid job for a while.
They were. March
Yeah.
166, he was pushing in, trying to avoid that T-32, but you can only avoid a tank that spreads that much freedom across the battlefield for so long. I mean, they wanted to follow the autoloaders and get the kills, and he was doing the right thing in that 1390, but there's only so many shots that French tank can dish out, and after the T-32 was able to clean them up, they were too far away, and that was a good execution from the Pubstars to keep them occupied.
Yeah, just it's what you need to do. But now I'm seeing Pershings, a lot of Pershings actually getting picked for Prohorova, so we're going to see a slow game this time, I think.
Slow but longer view range, that 400-meter view range on the American medium tank. Let's go ahead and jump into battle number 2 of GooglyBobbers versus Pubstars. And I'll go ahead and do the tanks.
Please.
Sovereign Zool in the T-32, Bananas to the Wall host, be rocking the Pershing along with Zombie Food. Tuxzilla in the 1390, Spoon in the 1390, and rounding out the 2 T1s will be Antosha and Armor Ghost. For the side of the red team, which is Pub Stars, Captain No Pants in the Pershing along with Independent in the Pershing, 7 in the Pershing, Zerm in the AMX 1390, Red Paradise in the 1390, Miserable, and Yankee be rocking the T1s. It was German Miserable in the T1s, or the T1 for Yankee.
You might as well just be
And
auctioning me
German in the
tanks.
1390. I could. I also want to get the team rosters out there because it's more than just the pretty faces of the team captains that make these teams great. It's the combined efforts as a team together. And it's a lot of fun to hang out with these guys at the live event. When we do release information about the finals, you want to try to make it out there if you're a big fan of tanks and a big fan of these teams because we do have a lot of fun.
And the opening scout runs, we have Spoon going up for a little bit east side scout run. He will meet Red Paradise. Shots going out from Independent, not connecting. Tuxzilla making the alternate scout run to the west. Almost everything is spotted. Looks like we're going to see a huge mid-control coming out from the Pub Stars.
Red Paradise in the 1390 lands another shot. Almost. No, it's a miss against Spoon. Spoon dodges another shot from Red Paradise. We see 11 games in the stats there for that Pub Star. And Zombie Food takes a hit in his Pershing.
Ooh, Spoon is just down to 675 hit points. His ammo rack sounded to be damaged, and he's just trying to get, down to 409, 165. Another good hit will finish, and he does go down. Those are long shots, 400 plus meters.
And that was
He's
Red
taken
Paradise over here in that 1390, right behind the rocks getting that shot. Independent, the Pershing takes down the T1. 2 tanks already fall. Looking at the rest of the lineup here for Pub Stars, they have their Pershings up on the front lines and the T1 falling back to the right, covering that road. Pershings against T-32s in the center. Zombie Food is the one that has taken damage. And if they are able to get, what's that, Rookhill? An eastern type approach.
If he doesn't
where
get
they can go to the
spotted,
south,
he needs to not get
even if he
spotted.
does get spotted, one of the turrets will point towards him, allowing the middle section of the front lines to push against them. This is going to be very crucial.
Germ is
communication
spotted,
happening between the
and
two.
Tosha is meters away. He does open up on him, damaging him just a little bit, and he only gets maybe one shot out. I didn't see if it hit anyone. Maybe Zombie Food is down a little bit.
Independent takes a hit to the front of the Pershing at 937. Another hit at 671.
Shots going out on Tosha are not going to connect. He's just going to sit here trying to spot Germ. Someone's got to be turning their turret. No one is, actually. But because they're down to tier 8, they're in a really rough spot. That 1390 doesn't, because he's there, it's actually still a 4v4 if they push forward. But Independence down to 396. They could push forward into this, and it looks like they will. Sovereign Zool is just going for it. 396, one hit. Will Bananas finish him off? He will. And that will actually even it up as far as tier 8s. Now they could continue forward. Zombie Food at least will.
Sovereign Zool takes another hit. Captain No Pants has not taken any damage in his Pershing. Miserable in the T1. Get a scout who's moving up that road. It is Tuxzilla. So this is going to have to be a push. Yankee wins the T1 battle to the south. Another 1390 to the south is going to have to make a decision. Do I go over the train tracks or not? And there's a turret break, allowing Captain No Pants an open shot. He misses, though. But here comes Red Paradise in the 1390, pushing up against these two tanks. And he focuses on the T-32. He's almost down. Zombie Food gets a kill against Miserable. And Red Paradise gets that shot and that kill. The Bananas to the Wall host Pershing taking some hits, 967. It's going to be 3 against 1 as Zevin is pushing up in the Pershing. No, he's going to go ahead and hang back. Captain No Pants now trying to focus
But
on
here
Bananas
comes
to the Wall host.
Tuxzilla coming in hot on to Captain No Pants. One more shot and he will finish him off. He bounces on the front of Captain No Pants, not paying attention to his shot. Now, even a low roll will allow him to live for a little bit
Captain
longer.
No Pants makes Tuxzilla fire a couple more shots into him. Germ is left alive in the 1390. One more hit on Tuxzilla, and he's going to fall at 18 hit points. Does Germ take the shot, or does he focus on the Pershing? He will take the shot. He will get the kill. And now one tank remains. That is Zombie Food in that Pershing with 169 HP. Blue base is also under attack from Yankee. This was the type of play I was talking about, Rookhill, by using that southern approach on the eastern side to cause those turret breaks, and they executed it. It was tough because they took a lot of damage, but that is how you play the range of this map, and using that coordinated movement, that's how you get those shots and those tanks not paying attention.
Yeah, and at the exact same time, they were trying to get their 1390 around, but Pub Stars did a better job. They will take battle number 2.
Very, very good placement and setup for them. And with the mobility of the 1390, he played his role beautifully here. Now, a couple shots were missing. There were a couple bounces, and Independent did take a lot of damage. But that did not change the overall strategy of Pub Stars. I really have to commend their execution. And I do have to commend GooglyBobbers here because they tried to stay in the fight as much as they could, but they were not able to do so because they got surrounded.
And
had
they
some
lost
isolation
Spoon.
happen.
They lost
And
Spoon.
they lost
so
Spoon
early. Yeah.
early too. Really
Without
early.
him, that really hurts. He didn't get to do any damage. Yeah, he got to do
He
0
didn't
damage in
shoot
that battle.
anything.
Yeah.
Didn't fire a single
That
shot.
that's what happens sometimes, and I see a lot of teams actually trying to counter out Spoon. We saw that C'est La Vie in the qualifiers did that with the blind fire. There's a ruse clues about that, and here we have them countering out a scout, just taking the hits, taking the damage, but it's worth it when you get that kill. That's a whole 1390, and I don't think the rest of his team, GooglyBobbers, were really so set up to make the return fire to punish them for exposing themselves on Spoon. Just not there.
Yep, it's kind of tough. Kind of tough to make that judgment call. Pub Stars looking good so far, 2-0. GooglyBobbers is a team that we are still seeing what they're capable of so far, and it's the best way to judge your skill is based on your opponent. And Pub Stars is a top-tier opponent. They were the top 8. They went in 6th place,
Yep.
and they brought them to the brink in Battle 1, but Battle 2, that was a really good execution from Pub Stars.
That was just a solid strat. Really good opening.
good.
They saw that their opponent had like a T-32, some Pershings, and I think they just knew the positioning better. They played more aggressively, and when you do that in a hold-down position, if you have the high ground in tanks, like in American tanks especially, T-32s, Pershings, I know there was a 3v3 tournament with a lot of T-29s that I can think back a long time ago where that was important, where I learned that lesson a lot. If you have an American tank, they're great in hold down, you get a high ground, and you're in hold down, you're better than the guy in a hold down than a low ground because you have these great shots in the top of a hatch, like just down into it as opposed to up at the hatch. It's better for you when you have the high ground. You can defeat that position a little bit, but the advantage is there. The Pershings understood that. That's where Pub Stars won in the middle with their Pershings. You can't give ground. You have to be aggressive enough. You have to take the hit, and you have to be better at making the hatch shots. If you're not, you're just going to lose out.
I was able to make a couple hatch shots with my STA-1 up against a T-29, and that was fun.
Yeah.
Until they figured out that I was a sheriff account, and
They just jumped on you, man. Yeah. But the STA-1 doesn't have a tough turret, though. You can just shoot at its turret. It's easy. It doesn't bounce much.
I know. It
Yeah.
hurts. Let's go ahead and jump into battle number 3, guys, on Ruinberg between Pub Stars and GooglyBobbers.
Taking a look at these tanks. We've got two 5100s, two IS-3s, and a 1390 for the side of GooglyBobbers. On the other side, two 5100s, two T-69s, and a 1390. Similar lineups, but a lot more hit points for the GooglyBobbers.
And a lot more absorbent armor, bouncing armor with the front of the IS-3s along with the spaced armor to the side. You guys can look up the 6-Day War for how the Israelis try to figure out how to take down the IS-3s. Very
How'd that work
intriguing.
out?
Very intriguing. Hey, they found out, what if we hit them from the back? We can get it.
Brilliant strategy.
6-Day War is an incredible, incredible story. Talk about a nation that was the complete underdog, and they won. Amazing. Look that up. Good general, too. He wore an eye patch. I forget his name.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool story.
If I were a general, I would wear that badge.
Independent sees Spoon. In the 1390, Spoon is going to be in some trouble. As
Ooh,
Independent
he is
lands
tracked
the
in the
first
open, has
shot.
to burn his kit.
And a missed shot from Independent against Spoon. Spoon in the 890. HP at 1100 is going to move up against that building. But a nice hit against Independent. Double hit against him.
Ooh.
I can't even tell where that was coming from.
That was IS-3s, I believe, to the west of that position, and actually 5100s as well. Fantastic job there. Now T1s and Tosha and Armor Ghost are going to start moving north. I guess there's a T1 clutch in a super cool position. You should probably go take a look at that.
It's not miserable. 'cause
not
that's a
miserable,
bush.
no.
His name's
But
Yankee.
He's trying to get it. Oh, this is perfect example. Now we can show everyone. No, go back. We have to see him get through. We can't hide the secrets from the world.
Is he stuck?
He's
He's trying to get inside.
he's trying to get in.
Let me get a little bit closer here.
Get in. You can do it.
Come
I
on,
believe
Yankee.
in you.
You can fit. You just got to think thin. So this is how they get up there? I thought it was this.
Yeah, this is how you get
I
up.
thought it was the rubble section over here you
Well,
climbed up.
no, it's through the window, but I think he needs to be slightly to the right. So he's trying to get in. Go, Yankee, go. You
He's
can
going
do
to have
it.
to get in there a little bit faster because here comes the blue team towards him.
Oh, he's...
Oh, look down. Look down. You can do it.
Wiggle. Wiggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
nice.
does it.
Good job, Yankee.
He's
well,
in.
he's going to be stuck there.
Oh, and at the same time, then Independent takes down Armor Ghost. And then he's probably... I think Yankee's going to have to leave immediately after. And Tosha is to the in Delta 3, and he's just waiting around. There's cover, though, to his south from Zombie Food and Baronish, if someone were to try and go at him. Also, Sovereign Zul, just to remind everyone, they are... Oh, Spoon gets out. Under the cover of Bennett's Walls from Sovereign Zul, Red Paradise peeking out, gets spotted. Spoon is out in the open, actually. It's a little risky there, Spoon. I don't know if he should be doing that. He's lining it up on Red Paradise. Red Paradise peeks again, and back, and eats spears.
T69 Independent, 613 is going to hang behind the two, next to the two buildings here to the north side. Going to be a bit of a standstill. The tank advantage will go to Pubstars with the 1T1 that has been destroyed, but it's obviously not an advantage. It's a big advantage in damage. Zevin is hanging back in the 5100. Playing more passive is going to be Pubstars here, and they can afford to do so, forcing GooglyBobbers to move and therefore have a higher chance of making a mistake or moving too far.
Oh, but Clutch, who is that in the southeast for the side of Pubstars?
Red
They're about to
Paradise.
come under fire. Red Paradise is caught out by a 5100 hit squad. Zombie Food to the left, Baronish to the right. Red Paradise takes fire down to 532, 243, and maybe he'll go down. Shots fired do not connect. They won't scare these 5100s off, and down goes Red Paradise. That is a huge loss for the Pubstars. Great timing by the GooglyBobbers, predicting that their opponent was going to be coming to the south.
And I really like the GooglyBobbers getting out of the city, because a lot of teams will stay in the city, hug that fountain area, not move whatsoever, allowing complete open map control for the opposite team who chose the Delta Village. Not the case this time. They figured at least we'll get a T1. We can overmatch someone. They did. That overmatch was up against a 1390. And Independent in the T69 is going to continue to crawl down to the south towards the Delta Village. An engagement may happen here. Some longer range fire between the two teams. Nothing lands yet, it looks like. Sovereign Zul did take some damage, 884 to the IS-3. Can't tell if that skirmish just happened from Zevin firing from the move, from falling back. And now Zevin is going to go to the north side, close to the TIE Fighter. Open road's going to leave him a little bit exposed, but Zevin's going to head over to the Delta Village and stay in there along with his teammates. So this is going to be a little more defensive play coming out of the Pubstars, and they're going to have to do this because they need to find a window of opportunity to take down the GooglyBobbers' lower HP tanks, but it's that damage output initially that could shut down one of these 5100s that they have to be careful for, and there's a shot coming out from Zombie Food, not going to land yet.
And, wow. It's just, with these health pools, man, I don't know. Bananas to the Wall host is really low, and we were talking about how GooglyBobbers had a good position. They look to be searching for it, but, I mean, look at the Pubstars have the high ground, right? It's just better positioning. We've got some cool positions out of Spoon in the south. He might get some spotting. He does get some spotting done.
And Captain No Pants in the 5100 again, hanging back. And they're just going to... Oh, he takes a big hit. I was waiting to see if there's going to be an initiation there. It's a big hit against Captain No Pants in that 5100. 939 at a 1400. They're going to move all the way to the north. Pubstars are bugging out of the Delta Village. They're going to give it up, and they're going to go for the flag cap. They're also feeling that if we're taking this much damage coming from the south, and if we lost that 1390 from the south, the city side is going to be open. They could put themselves in a positional play, allowing for a flank, counter-flank down the F crossroads, down this section here, where we do see a couple of the lighter tanks moving, or the longer range tanks being in this fountain position. No object 416, but potentially a hold down position near this fountain to get some shots. However, the fountain doesn't provide the best amount of cover. Even the T-32, it's partially exposed, I believe, next to the fountain. But I'll have to actually check. It's been a
Well,
while
there's
since
just
the fountain's
the fountain's going to be a non-factor, Clutch. I don't think it's going to come into play here because the GooglyBobbers are actually in the southeast. They've shifted completely.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, more of the intro of the map where you have the south using the fountain or
yeah,
congregating.
it
on
is
the
a
fountain.
strong position. You're right.
But it's not going to be the case here because you relinquish so much control of the open front maps. We're seeing a trade from Pubstars and GooglyBobbers going for the east side.
Wow, this is actually really cool. We're seeing them trade sides of the map. I don't know if Pubstars are looking for a fight or what they're really going for here, but maybe they recognize that the GooglyBobbers are trying to make an east push and that maybe they're just not set up for it. they're down a tier 8, so that hurts a lot. Without Red Paradise, they don't have the scouting that they had before. They needed that light tank, the 1390 for vision and flexibility. They lack that now. GooglyBobbers are kind of down at health points, though. And with that, if a fight happened, maybe Pubstars could come out ahead. But, I mean, the GooglyBobbers have numbers. And the numbers, I mean, it doesn't matter how much health you have. You still have a gun, and it still works.
That's right. So if you get that initial shot off, it's still going to do damage. And that's very key here for any engagement, but especially at long range. Especially at long range. 7 in the 5100. Okay, we're going to follow him for a bit, along with Captain No Pants.
Yeah, I'll be following Spoon, because Spoon is getting ever closer to a T1 in the north. He's just about to find him. He's but maybe 100 meters away and closing. He's about to reach that 50-meter proxy spot.
It's a big spot for Miserable to see Zombieland. Spoon's going to line up the hit, and he gets it right before he can get out of cover.
Wow, that was sick. Like, he drifted a little bit when he stopped. It was just beautiful to watch Spoon in that position.
Well, Miserable
and
is going to be to the south here, and he couldn't light up one of those T1s himself.
Oh, he's getting very close, and Tosha is actually out in the open. If he comes around this corner, he's just going to spot him and have beautiful side shots. And Tosha is none the wiser and is actually looking completely the opposite direction. Is he going to peek out? Command?
Nope, he's not. Yankee's actually going to fall back a little bit.
Inches Yankee away.
Let's shove over to German, the T-69. He's going to be going down the F crossroads again and looking further down in that view range. Nothing is seen. He falls back thinking, all right, where are they? They're going to be on flag cap in a matter of seconds. And now one of the heavy tanks could be spotted and out of position. It's 7. Shots ringing right through the windows. He's confused, thinking, no, how are they getting these hits? He tries to line up a shot. He has to fall back because his tracks were hit. And Baronish takes a hit as he comes around the corner.
Just keep going on. There's 59 seconds left in the battle. They have to cap it out. 20 seconds on the cap. 23 seconds left on the cap. Baronish is able to finish someone off, and he's going to be screening this a bit. Independent will have to deal with him, though. And, Independent's down to 88 hit points as he takes down 7.
That's a big hit against that T-69. He does take him out, though. Captain No Pants is low on HP and
8 seconds.
Not too low, though. They have to move in quickly. Can they get there in time? Germ pushes in the T-69.
Spoon bounces. And that... Oh, and a reset from the south as Captain No Pants and Germ get on cap. 13-22. There's still a chance to cap this out. No Pants, he has to get a reset. He does not. And now there's only a single tier 8 Independent who could reset this, make it a draw. Maybe.
This is going to be close. 11 seconds on the game timer, 5 seconds on the cap. 2, 1.
Does he get it? Is he? No, too late. And he misses.
Goes for the shot, and it doesn't happen. It will be a flag cap, and it will be a victory. Just in time for the GooglyBobbers to close that out. Nice play by them. It came down to locking down that tank to the very south, taking out that 1390 from there. They had great map control. It was tough for Pubstars to reposition themselves. Came down to the flag cap and a victory.
Yeah, and with the tier 8 lead, I mean, the tier 8 lead, they got to bully him. And also health points, you got IS-3s. It's a lot of advantages there. And every time we see a heavier lineup cap in the north, I think we usually see a victory. I don't think we ever see that really fall short and fail. Yep. So just great job by the GooglyBobbers.
We're going to take a quick break. And during that break, we're going to get to know the GooglyBobbers a little bit better. Stay tuned. You're watching the Gold League for World of Tanks. Everybody, welcome back. About to jump into the next battle here. Battle number 4 of Pubstars versus GooglyBobbers. I'm going to jump into Twitter real quick because we have another code to give away. It's going to go to Rodrigo Pavon. And he says, Me gusta el tanque grile por su fuerte cañón y buena precisión. He enjoys his tank for its strong cannon and awesome precision. And you're going to enjoy some awesome gold credits and premium time. You guys have some tanks you enjoy from the World War II era. Hashtag WW2. Make sure to send it to us at WGLNA. We have some gold codes we're giving out. Also, thanks to producer Sean, our producer here for the show, that is interacting with the chat, interacting with the fans, and giving you guys a chance to get some codes so you can perform better in World of Tanks and maybe put together a team of your own for 7x42 in those team battles. I was really excited to hear that Team Battles was being in development. When it finally got released, we jumped on, dominated. I think we actually made some people stop playing it because we were so good.
It's like tank companies, man. when you are highly organized in tank companies, there's not a lot of people that are usually on to compete with you. We had to organize in clan wars, like the other clans. We'd have times where everyone was like, oh, it's time for all the clannies to get into tank companies and play against each other. And then it would be cool for a few hours in the evening, and because we'd all be doing tank companies, but then it would kind of die out once a few teams left, and then there were a few teams that were kind of thrown together that would stay, and the same people usually won all the time. It was fun. Great way to pad stats.
Keep hearing that a lot, padding the stats. Well, we're going to jump on mines for battle number 4 of Pubstars versus the GooglyBobbers. Can Pubstars close it out, or will this be a dramatic comeback? Let's find out.
Taking a look at the tanks, we have 2 Pershings, a T-69, and 2 1390s for the side of the GooglyBobbers. On Pubstars, Captain No Pants in the Pershing, Zevin in the T-69, and 3 1390s. So mobility going to the Pubstars here on mines.
Mobility is the name of the game for the beginning. That's why we like to see a lot of the WZ-132s used. Not going to be the case, though, so there is no choice. No T-32s, though.
Bit slow to the middle, not as maneuverable, and they're hoping to maybe get away with, the burst from a T-69 and then complement that with
Pershings
the
are
mobility
sufficient.
of Pershings.
Pershings are sufficient.
Yeah.
Red Paradise in the 1309 with March 166. Top performer, March 166, going to be the battle buddy of Red Paradise. You can be my wingman anytime, says Red Paradise, coming up to the top of the hill. Who's going to join him? No one. Going for a longer approach and actually a south side water push coming out of GooglyBobbers.
Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot, but it's a very solid defensible position. They'll take the low ground. They'll still be in hold down, but they will be so much lower and vulnerable because of that. Now, because of recent changes to the map, it's actually going to be very hard for the Pubstars to use the hill to counter the water side. In order to peek down these Pershing and T-69, they're really going to have to expose themselves, and it's probably not going to work out that well. Blind fire going into the bushes, not making any connections onto Red Paradise.
Yeah, he falls back in time for that shot to miss, but he does peek out behind the bushes to see if he can get another hit, and nothing so far is scouted. So there's going to be a bit of a standstill, but Germ gets the first blood against Armor Ghost in that T1.
That's not too good. And Tosha is the only T1 remaining for GooglyBobbers. He is all the way in the west, and he's looking for somebody not able to find, and he takes as he peeks over. He may continue forward, though, and that's very risky. A great way to lose your other T1, because there, as you can see, that's independent in the T1.
Independent that area can see those Pershings maybe pushing up against.
He is spotted,
the
though,
island.
and Spoon zeros, but not make a connection. Also, Zevin is spotted, and he will have to back off, giving ground. But a nice connection by Spoon. Good shot. Will take him down to 11:32. Spoon is going to back off using rocks as cover, and actually runs into one just before he slips away.
Germ, along with Red Paradise, top of the hill. Also up there is March 166. Not seeing anything yet for the scouting partners, the T1s. Miserable. Wow, look at this. On the eastern play, they're coming down off the mountain. And Miserable's going to push in on the T1. This is a trigger being pulled potentially if they get the right setup here for the Pubstars. And now they're going to head to the south. They could go straight for the flag and use the rocks covering the approach from the east to the west. This is a big play coming out of the Pubstars, and it could be
It's a cap fast.
very effective.
Oh, but cap fast. Sovereign's and Bananas the Wallhost are not ready for this. When they try to return to base, they're going to have to cross the open. There's a medium waiting for them, and it is Captain No Pants. Bananas the Wallhost will hesitate, but then he decides, I have to go. I have no choice. There are 3 tanks on cap, and there's 20 seconds left. First shot from Captain No Pants does not track Bananas the Wallhost. He may be able to make it back in time. But if he gets a track shot, he's going to stop him cold.
I really like the positioning of the Pershings of the T-69 trying to stop those tanks moving in against a flag cap. 8 seconds left for them to get on top of the mountain. It's going to be really, really tough for them to do this. There's plenty of tanks up there that got on there at the same time. 2 seconds, 1 second. Bananas to the Wallhost fires. There is a reset. 5 seconds again left on the clock. Full-on tank approach coming out of GooglyBobbers. They do take out the T1, who had a lot of those points. Another reset, but a fall happens. Germ takes down Tuxilla. Tuxilla was the one that was able to take down the T1. Sovereign Zool and the Pershing going to try to stop Captain No Pants and Zevin pushing in against the side flank of Spoon and Zombie Food. Another shot coming out from Spoon. Spoon takes a hit from Red Paradise. Red Paradise backs away from the Pershing. Zevin takes down Spoon from the long-range side of the hill. This is beautiful positional play from the Pub Stars with their execution. Now only 2 tanks remain against the 6 on the side of Pub Stars. That's Zool and the Pershing, and the last Pershing is Zombie Food. They're going to get surrounded and destroyed here in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, just that cap fast, baiting in members of the GooglyBobbers. They are not prepared for that, and now it's over. Sovereign Zool is going to be able to pick up, oh, actually Zombie Food's going to pick up Captain No Pants, but there goes the Pershing. Now only Zombie Food remains, and he is completely exposed.
And he's going to back himself up the mountain, but not before he gets blown up, and that does it. Pub Stars takes the series 3-1. A very impressive play on mines with that cap fast. I really liked where the positioning was happening on the hillside where the Pershing was, and they allowed multiple shots to ring into the side of GooglyBobbers as they try to stop the fly cap.
Yeah.
Great map position.
When they had hill control, they realized they had east control, and from there they were able to make a cap fast happen. They recognized their advantage when they looked across the mid, saw no one was there. And here's the thing, they're sitting still, they're looking at their opponent, and look at the way the shots. They have to use them to kill the T1. They're just trying to stop Cap. GooglyBobbers have to stop Cap and try and get these kills, but they have to spread damage. And because of that, Pub Stars is able to keep 3 1390s alive and just waste these tanks as they come back to Cap. Now they scatter as they reload, and there's cover from up above. Unfortunate missed shots. There's Spoon going down. No hope left for the
7,
GooglyBobbers.
and the T-69 had a couple shots more, and they were able to clean it up. They get off the hill. They get the surround of the Pershings. I am impressed with what Pub Stars was able to accomplish in this series, and if they continue to perform this way against other opponents that are more proven in the Gold League, no offense against GooglyBobbers, but they are a new team, Pub Stars are going to be a top contender for the top 4.
Yeah, they're seed number 6. I mean, we know they're good. They have to just prove that they're still there because everyone's improving, and it's how much you can improve in this.
And this is a team we have talked many times about being individually very well talented, very talented team members, but as a team itself, they didn't quite gel or work together. We're seeing great teamwork because of this positional play, and if this is the last factor that Pub Stars needed in order to become one of the top 4, it's there. It's there in this series.
The synergy is really looking good. That does it for our match. Our next match for this evening is Spurg Lords versus Hammer Time.
That's right. Spurg Lords, again, one of the new teams for the Gold League. Hammer Time made their appearance from the last season, and they're looking pretty strong so far. But we're going to take our halftime break. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, guys, at WGLNA. Send us your favorite World War II tanks, hashtag WW2, and send us a picture as well of why it's your favorite tank. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Stay tuned. The Gold League continues after this.